All right, well, good morning. As Bruce and Renee and Diana have said, some of you I have the pleasure of already knowing. My name is John Feldman. I am a longtime fan of the AIN group, going back to the very first ever AIN dealer in sunny Naples, Florida. So most of you guys I know well, and the ones that I don't, I look forward to the opportunity to get to know you better. So I work for a different company these days. We are called Linear. Bruce and I both work for the same company as a division of Nortec. Trying to figure out how to make my screen start changing here. It's all the practice. For some reason, I'm not able to control the screen, Renee.
Hold on one moment, John. You should have control.
Yeah. See what's what. There we go. Thank you.
There it is.
Pardon me. So as Bruce commented on, I want to show you the same slide just to emphasize one more time that we are on the same team and working for a very powerful company called Nortec. Nortec is in Rhode Island. Linear is in multiple locations. Bruce and his company are in Tallahassee, Florida. This is a couple pictures of Linear. The picture on the left is our corporate offices in Carlsbad, California. The picture in the middle is one of our manufacturing facilities. This one is in Shenzhen, China. This is our biggest manufacturing facility, and the one that Linear gets awards and accommodations for every year. One of the finest manufacturing facilities on that part of the world. And then the building to the right with the snow on it is one of our facilities in Pennsylvania, where a lot of our camera and digital products are produced, and a nice chunk of our engineers hang out in those buildings as well. Established in 1961, Linear has been around for a long, long time, and for those of you that have been strong in the security side of your business, know our name because of our wireless RF products. We appreciate that many of you have been our customers in the past, whether you knew it or not. We are one of the largest OEM manufacturers of wireless devices, so I know most of you are have been or currently are still in the GE product family. So without you knowing it, you're already customers of ours because we make such a large percentage of their wireless gear. So we appreciate that. And this is a slide that's going to give you a slight headache, but it's by design. Wanted to kind of give you an idea of how big the scope of products is that land inside of Nortec. So Bruce and I hang out in the left corner, and you'll see some of the company names that you know these names, and you might even have wondered where the heck they went. They went as an acquisition of Nortec. And right now, Nortec is working very hard to put these companies into the right groupings so that they start operating as a individual unit, and there'll be 5 of them. You can see we fall into the technology side. Nortec has come out of a bankruptcy scenario they had about 8 years ago now, and they're in very strong acquisition mode. They've been purchasing and acquiring companies, and you do see one up on the top left called 2GIG. We are the original manufacturers of the 2GIG security panel. We own that company today. We bought it. It's no secret. It's public. We paid $125 million to put the 2GIG product back in our world. And a good question from Team AIN, or the dealer network, is can you purchase that product through the AIN group today? And the answer is no. We'll get into some of the details of that in a little while, but I wanted to make sure we showed it as part of the Linear family, and we'll talk about how that proceeds in the future. So we talked about GTO, my buddy Bruce, and hope you guys will take up a couple of minutes and talk to your team about that in your next sales meeting. GTO, when Bruce and I have had the pleasure of traveling around, we've already spoken to about 15 AIN dealers together about the product, and it is something that I heard over and over that, man, I wish I would have known that last week and last month, because it is an opportunity that hits you guys, and so far you had to step aside from that opportunity. one of the things that Bruce and I brag about when we sit in front of your teams is the network of guys that Bruce has to install this. So in the effort that you don't want to put the product in, there's a really neat process that lets you hook into a local GTA company or GTO company that'll install that, and you guys start working together on a business networking deal that I would say is second to none that you're going to be exposed to. Then we're going to blow through some of the linear products so you can see what has been approved on the AIN group. So our list of products goes like this: the linear telephone entry. We're going to go through that. We have some security peripherals that are right on target with what you guys are doing today and what you're up against. We have a product called Copper Cop, and we do have a full line of PERS that will be available to AIN that we're going to touch on very quickly. So our residential telephone entry product, you guys have seen this product with our name on it or with someone else's name on the front of it for over 20 years. So our residential telephone entry gear is rock solid. It's got the best reputation in the market. We compete with Door King, who is doing a nice job of coming into they're gaining market share from some of the smaller competitors in the market. So you'll see Linear and Door King are the two big plays now in telephone entry. The good portion and the good timing is that your builders and mine are starting to build product that needs this application. They're building 8-plexes and 10-plexes, and they're building them one after another to where you start seeing 75, 90, and over 100 user codes. So our product is built in a good, better, best scenario that flows exactly like the builders and some of the things you're going to be asked for. So the feature sets and all the different details are available. We'll get all that to you. Some of it came in your packet, and we look forward to going through it in detail with you when you'd like to. As we hit through this, I just kind of want to walk you through the good, better, best mentality of this. So our basic RE1 kits are for 100 entry codes. So a smaller 70 to 80 multifamily kind of thing where you have 70 or 80 up to 100 entry codes. We do follow the last 450 events. It's all programmable through keypad. You can remote program. It's weatherproof. This stuff's built to be outside. And then it has a nice upgrade feature where we can put CCTV cameras in anything. You can just pop them in, and the hole to make them work is waiting for you. Then we move into the RE2. It's the same product, but it's designed to be flush mounted, so it's clean. That's all that you see, exactly how the front of that looks. That's all you'll see. It also has the exact same option for upgrades so that you can do the color or black and white cameras. And this is a product that you've probably seen the most. This is our go-to bulletproof AE100. It's a commercial telephone entry box that has lots and lots of residential applications. We install this in multifamily, apartment communities, master plan buildings, all kinds of different HOA applications to this product. 125 tenants, so it's a little bit of an upgrade from the one before it. And you can add on to it 4 times. So you can have 5 times that many users, whatever you need in between. Again, we put the ability for you to put in cameras. Lots of things here that we're not going to go through. It does have 4 different languages that it currently greets in, and we have 4 more languages in the works, so we'll be able to do 8 languages for greetings, and the customer can set up what language they want to be greeted in, and the product is sharp enough to understand that that customer wants Portuguese, and the rest of the customers want English. Then the same thing, we'll hit these briefly and quickly. The AE500 adds users, so you can see it has very similar feature set to the one before it. It just adds users. And then we have the AE1000. We can do 2,000 card holders, users, and up to 10,000 based on the fact that each customer could have between 2 to 5. And then we have the same thing, but we changed the screen out to a really nice, very easable backlit LCD display. It presents 24 residents at one time, so when you have large neighborhoods, they can find who they're trying to call quickly, and the way to interact with the homeowner is very easy at the customer side. Then this device we really like inside the AIN group because it fits a lot of the communities that I know you guys work within, where they have areas inside the community that are built after the neighborhood was done, added on, a fitness center, a pool, community clubhouse, different sites that the developers and the HOAs are responsible for keeping safe and clean and neat. And this product allows you to bring those on. And this guy gets installed. You don't need wires from the base station. It doesn't have to come from the guard gate or an office on the property. You can set this up and they'll communicate back and forth wirelessly. And this works as an access control product after the telephone entry products have already been installed. So you can add these in. People walk in and card swipe or use their fobs for entrance, and it tracks who's been in those areas. So if there's been any damages or there's been any kind of vandalism, they'll know who the last groups were that were in the different community centers and common space. And we're not moving again. Somehow I've lost control again. I don't know what happened, Renee. I'm going back to the full screen again here.
You should still have control, nothing.
There we go. It's moving again. Sorry.
There you go. Okay. That's all right.
The software that it takes to run all this product is included. We don't charge anything extra for our software, which is a really good competitive spot with our friends that you're going to be bidding against. And same thing with all of our different remote devices. We make all of our own product. So some of these, bi-directional and long-range antennas, all the way down to the key fobs and card swipes that we use on our devices, we make 100% of our own product, and we make most of our competitors' product as well. So you can kind of flip through those. All right, so we talked about GTO. Okay, we're going to pop real quick through our PERS product line. Most of you have been exposed to PERS. We sure like the folks at LogicMark, and we are going to be a offering that aligns nicely with those folks. Our product does not interact with their product. We have a different mentality on battery life and recharge. So when we go into Linear, most of this product you'll be familiar with if you've done any look into or research into the PERS industry, because we've been doing it in a very dominant fashion for a long, long time. The top 22 of the top 25 PERS guys in our country, we private label and make their product for them. The PERS 2400 you can see on the left is a go-to product. It's a standard. It is what your competitors are using, and it's what you're competing against when you're putting LogicMark out there. You can see the 3600 in the middle and our new product, which is a 4200 on the end. Just going to hit on a couple quick features. One of the technologies that we're really excited about, and our dealers are switching a lot of their product over to us for this reason, we have the finest long-range transmitters that are available today. You'll see our new transmitters have 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet of range, which is 4 times some of the folks that are out there, and twice as far, and it transmits twice as far as our old product does. So all of our compatible devices are backwards compatible. So if you even added one of these to one of your competitors' devices, or if you have some linear product from the past, the new transmitter, the technology is in the transmitter. So it now has 1,000 feet of range. They're backwards compatible, and they convert to every one of our devices. Now you'll see in all of our transmitters there is no place to plug them in. These all come with a 4 to 6 year battery life. It tells your customer that the batteries are running low. 6 months, 5 months, 3 months, all the way down to 1 month before, so your central station is getting a low battery alert well in advance of the need to swap them out. The other thing that we're excited about, you'll hear a lot about in the newspapers and different press clippings, is we are launching the first GPS, or it's not going to be called that, it's called UMTS, cellular compatibility for a PERS device. So no different than our security installs where we're struggling to get POTS lines and home telephone landlines, the PERS industry is feeling the exact same thing. So today you can see the one on the top right, that big white block that comes out of the back, which the shape of that is continuing to be shrunken down, but that is the cellular capability that has been approved. It's been approved both by FDA and been approved by UL to be the main communication port for a PERS device. So I had one of our AIM dealers just yesterday was asking me about a homeowner who could no longer afford their telephone line in 2 different locations, and this PERS device fixes that for them very nicely. So they don't need a home phone line anymore. We can communicate all their stuff back to the central station right through the device as long as it stays powered up. This also, the Linear 4200 was the first device to have that 1,000 feet of transmitter range. And something else you'll see us launching at the same time, I think I have a slide coming up on it, we're going to blow through it, is a speaker, a microphone product called the Tech Deck that allows you to expand the 4200 to large homes or folks that spend a lot of time outside in their garage, maybe a detached garage, maybe a greenhouse or a garden area. We can expand with these Tech Deck speakers another 500 feet, and they communicate back and forth as if they're sitting right next to the console. So Linear's done a really nice job of keeping up with what the customers are demanding, and gives you a product that you can use moving forward with some of the stuff that our competition just haven't had before. And we're going to blow through some of these repeats. Okay, so we're going fast. Here's the security portion of our launch. Inside the AIN group, we are launching what we call NewLink. Now, this NewLink is a 3G CDMA radio that you can install on any security product that has been previously installed by you or your competitors. We don't care whose product it is. You don't need to care whose product it is. You can install a NewLink radio with 6 wires. 2 take power. It takes 50 milliamps, so it's a very slight trickle charge. You won't have to upgrade the power inside the home very often. We take 2 wires to the tip and ring, and we take 2 wires to key switch. The tip and ring lets us take the dial tone for that home and point it at your central station before the existing security panel even knows it's been overtaken, and the central station won't know for days and days, maybe weeks. So it's a really slick. The key switch allows us to activate our app. So your homeowner can draw down the app. It's free, obviously. It's available today on Google and Apple. And they customize their app so that they can see the status of their security panel back home and the ability to change it from armed to disarmed and call someone whose name is pre-programmed as their first call if they need to. So NewLink has a really nice position today. It is built, it's done, it's shipping, and we are enrolling central stations at a very fast pace so that your central station can be ready to take the NewLink signal. If it's not ready to take the NewLink signal, they can jump on WebExes. We have 3 or 4 WebEx preset every week. They jump on. It takes 30 minutes. They download a piece of paper. They fill it out and email it back, and they're up and running in 48 hours. So NewLink is a very slick product. It's available today. It's made by Linear, and it's hosted on something we're going to talk about in a minute called LinearLinc, which is an interesting option for you in the future as well. The other piece of this that is becoming very important, and you know, don't wait for the industry to fix this kind of thing for you, is the very first point on this slide, which is called the 2G radio or AT&T Sunset. So AT&T has the 2G radios in many, many, many installs. They say there's about 3.1 million installs in the United States that are running 2G. Those are being turned off on January 1st of 2017. So the industry is addressing this right now. So you're going to find a lot of energy wrapped around what do I do with my 2G radios that are going quiet. You can wait, fine. I mean, some companies say we have plenty of time, or you can put an aggressive program out there now. Some of the markets that AIN deals with today are already having issues with 2G radios. The 2G system is having no more upgrades. AT&T has been very bullish about this. We are not spending any more money. We're sorry your signal's falling off in those areas that are a little more remote. We're not doing anything about it. Too bad. Well, this is your best priced and best opportunity to go and fix that. And then lastly, we're talking on this slide is just a NewLink control. In the first quarter of 2014, we will launch a NewLink that has a Z-Wave device inside of it, and you can then add Z-Wave. Z-Wave is our Z-Wave. We make it. It is an approved product inside of AIN Group, so you can buy our Z-Wave products. And NewLink Control will allow you to control any takeover for any security panel and turn it into a smart panel and using our Z-Wave. There's kind of the first and second of that. The second and third portion of that aren't available to you today. Then here's something I just want to spend a couple of minutes on how a takeover network and how the cloud works out there in the sky. So you're going to hear some information coming about LinearLinc. Today you would think that's probably the only person out there is called Alarm.com. So Alarm.com is very similar, or NewLink and what's launching LinearLinc are very similar to one another. The difference with our products going forward are that all of the products that we intend to host on our cloud, we make. We manufacture all of it. We manufacture 2 gig that runs on the cloud currently called Alarm.com. 2 gig will also very soon be running on a product called LinearLinc. The difference with LinearLinc and Alarm.com is that we own our server farm. So that means we own our cloud. Our server farms, there's one in the West Coast in California, we have one in the middle of the country in Illinois, and we have one on the East Coast in New York. So owning your own cloud means you have redundancy. It also means that you have speed. So how quickly our NewLink devices communicate and how quickly we expect our NewLink control to communicate will show you what it means when you have 3 server farms and you put them in the right parts of the country and they're redundant. Our typical NewLinks, when you get them and download them and install them in the homes, the communication from the smartphone to the panel is a second or two. In our trade shows that some of you guys we got to visit with you at ISC and some other ones, the challenge is I'll hit the phone app, you hit the panel and see who wins. So we're as quick as just standing in front of it. So you don't have a customer who's hit the button 2 times or 3 times while it's cycling and seeing how fast that the data is going to travel up through the NOC and back down to the panel. Ours eliminates a lot of those delays. And it's very different, and you'll see the difference in pricing and packaging going forward because LinearLinc is owned by Linear. We don't have a third party. We're not renting space. We don't intend to ask you for any activation fees ever. You can collect them from the homeowner. You get to keep them. We don't have activation fees, and we also don't have any overage fees. So we understand that one of the challenges that our friends have at Alarm.com is that when your account runs over because the customer looked too many times through their video or their image sensor, those charges flow back to you, and it's pretty hard to collect them from the homeowner. We don't have any of that stuff. We don't have any of those fees. We don't need them. We don't want them, and we don't want to burden you with those. Okay, we're going quick on purpose. So here's another very slick product that we have. It's called CopperCop. CopperCop identifies and solves one of our biggest problems that our builders are having today. And once you start installing them and get known for the folks in your market installing them, some new opportunities will pop up. So CopperCop answers this problem. Now, 2007 is the first time that they really started talking about how huge this problem was becoming. The article that I just read, which was in the Los Angeles Times, shows that in 2011 and 2012, the theft of CopperCop went up by 500%. Now, since 2012 to now, it's up another 740%. So the thieves are stealing copper everywhere they can find it. And what's happening is since the theft is going so well, the ability to get rid of it and fence and turn the stuff back into copper that they can resell in other scenarios has gone up 700%. So these folks who are stealing this stuff are getting away with it. There's almost no way to stop them. And they can fence this stuff and turn it into money super fast. And right now they say the markup is 1,000%. So if I steal it, it's got a $150 value. I can get $1,500 for it all day long. These are some of the reports that do that. But here's what our builders see. This picture on the right is what they see. Their HVAC unit has been blasted apart, and all the copper has been ripped out of it. You can see this one's about to have all their copper taken. And the street values and the replacement cost to the builder are astronomical. So what you may or may not know is that every one of our builders has one challenge when it comes to theft like this off of a job site. They cannot go to their deductible. Most of the builders' per lot deductible is 6 figures, 100,000, 150. Some of our builders joke that it's 200,000 bucks, period. We eat everything under 200. So pretty much if the house doesn't burn down, they can't talk to their insurance company about any theft that happens on the job site. So CopperCop is a really slick way to control this, stop it for your builders, and then add more builders around the communities that you're working because they're going to see CopperCop installed and want to know who did it. So our product features, which you can see CopperCop, that's the model number, CC-3008. It's a 30-foot cable. I'm going to show you a picture of how it looks in a second installed. It is a 30-foot cable. One end of it starts into a metal junction box that we provide, and you wrap it around the air conditioning unit that's installed outside the builder's new home. It's got 8 clip triggers. It's a screw. It's a screw with a plastic compression fitting that once it's installed, you can't back it out without sending a tamper back through the alarm system. It's water resistant. It's bright yellow. It can go on anybody's HVAC unit, and it works with both a hardwired and a wireless solution depending on where you have the J-box. You don't need a plumber. You don't need an electrician, and it installs in about 20 minutes. As soon as you get CopperCop installed and the second side of the cable is back inside the J-box, it now becomes a dedicated zone on your security panel, and it's monitored the way you normally do it. So here's an example of one of the properties we have that we installed CopperCop on a commercial unit. So we also make CopperCop commercially. You'll see our commercial product is either dark green or black. Those little clips you see running down the side are the triggers. Once those are installed into an HVAC unit and the other end of this is put back in the J-box, you have a completed circuit and your HVAC unit is now completely safe, and it's into the security panel. You can see the J-box here we're about to wire into. CopperCop is owned and manufactured by our company. It compares with these two competitive products that are out there, the Copper Watcher and the Whip. Some of you guys have probably been asked to play around with a couple of these. They both are interesting. They both require a different trade to help you get them installed. And you can see the pricing, $250 for the Whip. I know our friends in Gainesville had their plumber help them install the Whip, and that unit did get stolen. And the Whip told them that the pressure inside the refrigeration dropped, but it didn't tell anybody. There was no one to report it to. The second one, Copper Watcher, does a little better job because they send a note to a smartphone. It requires both a plumber and electrician licenses to install, and they're $380. Our part number, you can see, we've had these out for almost a year. The list price is $129, and AIN gets volume pricing inside of our group as if every one of you guys has done $400,000 in volume with Linear already, and the price is $69.99. For attending this WebEx today, you're going to get a CopperCop sent to you at no charge, so you can get it out there and get it installed. Now, inside of Linear, you're in your launch packet, and you'll get some additional information very soon about how we manage the United States. We're very similar to a lot of the relationships you have today in the security world. We are in every large and national distribution house today. So we are at Triad, we are at ADI and Systems and eDist and all the rest of them. We have relationships with all of those folks currently, long-lasting relationships that we value. We also have a business development team with 5 folks on it that support AIN Group as well. And we have 28 guys on the street that are broken out by geography that support our dealer network as well. So exactly which guy takes care of which dealer will be introduced to you, and we're using Rod and Jay and Larry to get that rolled out properly, including that I cover the East and with Jay Hutt and part of Larry's area. So you'll have plenty of support inside the AIN Group, and we're excited to get cranking right after this launch. Lastly, in your launch packet, I think Cameron and Diana and Renee and their team were good enough to get your POS documentation in your launch packet for your different distributors. That's an important piece of everything for AIN Group and the way that we recognize sales figures from your company through AIN. The pricing that you get and all the rest of it wraps around the idea that you are part of AIN, and that's how we track it. So those documents, even if you're not currently purchasing a ton of Linear product, it's important to get those filled out and returned so that we can get you properly set up in all of our database and make sure that you're properly tagged to the AIN group to get the discounts that we loaded for you. With that, Renee, I'll turn it back over to you, and we'll figure out if there's questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bruce and John. Great presentations. I think we're all good. Well, I thank everyone for taking the time to join this e-presentation. And again, Bruce and John, thank you so much. And everyone have a great afternoon.